13-year-old Susie G was elated when Britain's lower house of Parliament voted to legalise assisted dying 9 months ago. Suffering from incurable bone cancer, the retired nurse believed that at some point she would be able to make a decision to, quote, slip away. But now she says she feels betrayed after the upper house of Parliament said the proposal would not become law at this attempt.
You know, I think most of us who've been campaigning feel the same way. I know our little local group in Sevenoaks is, you know, they're really so upset because we've all worked so hard. So yes, a huge sense of betrayal that our choice is being swept away from us.
Mentally competent terminally ill adults can end their lives in specific circumstances in countries including Australia, Canada and Switzerland. But more than 50 members of the House of Lords said the assisted dying bill, quote, does not sufficiently guard against coercion or protect the most vulnerable people in our society.
The public want this change and they want the choice, and that's all it is for people.
Kim Leadbeater, a lawmaker from the ruling Labour Party who sponsored the proposal, believes it will eventually pass.
But I think the bottom line now is it did pass the elected chamber. So I think it would be really helpful if the government could create time for the bill to be brought back at the next parliamentary session.
She added that people should not have to suffer a painful death or resort to legal assisted dying abroad. Those opposing the legislation, like CEO of Care Not Killing George MacDonald, says proper palliative care would remove any need for them to do that.
Well, the strongest argument against it is that it's going to put people who are vulnerable at risk. You know, I mean, this is an issue of life and death for many people. People who will be feeling under pressure because they feel that they're a burden on their family or their friends or even on the NHS.
Pro-bill campaigners say polls have long shown around 80% of Britons back assisted dying for those with an incurable and painful illness that will kill them within the next few months. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer voted in favour of assisted dying in 2015, but intervening at this point would be politically sensitive. Local elections are in May and the populist Reform UK party, whose leader Nigel Farage opposes the bill, is expected to do well. But G desperately wants Starmer to intervene.
Please, Prime Minister, will you please bring this bill back to the Commons for the next session? And we desperately need this law, so please do something.